Everyone thought the story of Yu Menglong had already reached its final, impossible twist. A stranger stepped out of the shadows with a voice trembling like someone who had just escaped a nightmare that refused to stay silent. He didn't come with cameras. He didn't come with reporters. He didn't even come with his face uncovered. He came with the final words of Yu Menglong, words that were never meant to escape the darkness, words that have now set the entire investigation ablaze, and words that threaten to rewrite everything everyone thought they knew. He said he wasn't supposed to speak. He said he had promised himself he wouldn't. He said the truth was too dangerous, too sharp, too bright. But he also said he could no longer carry it. That's when the world leaned forward. He took a seat under the flickering emergency light in a quiet underground parking lot, the only place he felt safe enough to talk. The darkness breathed over the concrete walls like a restless beast. Every echo became a heartbeat. Every heartbeat became a countdown. And then he said it. I heard his last words, he whispered. And he wasn't alone when he said them. The air stilled. For months, investigators searched for the missing final moments, the seconds that vanished between Yu Menglong's last public appearance and the explosion of mystery that followed. But no footage ever captured it. No device recorded it. No official record held it. Yet the witness claimed he did. He said he was one of the last people near the hallway where Yu Menglong had been moments before everything spiraled. Not by choice. Not by chance. But because he was delivering something, a sealed envelope with no name, only a symbol burned into the flap. A symbol that matched the one analysts found in Yu Menglong's lost phone weeks later. A symbol that keeps appearing in shadows, whispers, documents, and now someone's memory. The witness said he saw Yu Menglong standing at the end of the hallway, half silhouetted by a broken light overhead. He looked calm, but not peaceful. Determined, but not angry. Like a man deciding whether to run, speak, or surrender to something too big to outrun. And that's when someone else approached him. Not a fan. Not a staff member. Not a friend. A person whose identity the witness refused to reveal, because he said if the name slipped out, he wouldn't make it to the sunrise. The hallway was cold. The air smelled like rain that wasn't meant to fall yet. And Yu Menglong's voice was low enough to force the witness to hold his breath just to hear. He wasn't fighting. He wasn't crying. He wasn't scared. He was accepting something. His final words, according to the witness, were spoken with a strange kind of clarity, like the moment was rehearsed, but real, practiced, but breaking from the inside. I left everything in the last place you wouldn't look, he said. If they find it before you do, tell them I didn't stay silent. Tell them I tried. The witness said the person standing with him froze, like the words were heavier than bullets. And Yu Menglong added, and whatever happens, it wasn't an accident. The witness said those words were sharp enough to slice the darkness around them. They echoed down the hallway like a prophecy tearing itself open. The mysterious figure stepped closer, whispered something the witness couldn't hear, and Yu Menglong's expression shattered for a second. Just 1 second, as if realizing something he couldn't undo. Then he said something else. Something quieter. Something the witness almost didn't catch. Make sure they see the truth before they bury it. The witness said he stepped back into the shadows, terrified someone would see him. Because the moment felt like a secret universe collapsing on itself, and he didn't belong there. He said Yu Menglong turned away, as if heading somewhere he had already accepted he would never return from. A place where secrets go when they're too dangerous to be carried by the living. And that's when the sound came. Not a shout, not a scream. A heavy, echoing thud that rippled down the corridor, followed by footsteps sprinting away. By the time the witness dared to look again, the hallway was empty. Yu Menglong was gone. The envelope was gone. Only the echo remained. The witness said he kept quiet for months because he feared retaliation. He feared the name behind the silhouette. He feared the symbol burned into the envelope and later found in Yu Menglong's phone. He feared the truth itself, not because it was dangerous, but because it was unfinished. He said Yu Menglong's final words weren't a confession. They weren't a farewell. They were an instruction, a command, a warning. a breadcrumb left for those who refused to accept the silence forced upon them. The investigators who heard the witness were shaken because his story matched three things: the hidden map found in Yu Menglong's cloud backup, the encrypted audio file recovered from his locked phone, and the message fragment found on a piece of torn paper in his apartment. All three contain the same haunting phrase: last place you wouldn't look. Some said it meant a real location. Some said it meant a person. Some said it meant a truth everyone was too afraid to consider. But the witness said something different. He said Yu Menglong wasn't hiding something. He was revealing it slowly, on purpose, fragment by fragment, message by message, clue by clue. Like he wanted someone to put the pieces together after he was gone, because he couldn't. The world thought those final words were the end of the story. But they were the beginning. And the witness said he wasn't even supposed to be there when they were spoken. He said fate placed him in the wrong place at the right time. He said he wished he never heard them, but he also said those words changed him. Now those words are changing the world. Because if Yu Menglong really left everything in the last place you wouldn't look, then investigators have been searching in all the wrong places. Fans are digging through old videos. Analysts are re-examining deleted voice notes. Insiders are scrambling to track down the identity of the figure in the hallway. And conspiracies are exploding across the internet faster than they can be debunked. Some say he hid a physical object. Others say he hid a digital confession. A few whisper he hid the truth inside a person he trusted. But the witness insists the meaning is far more dangerous, because he said the tone of Yu Menglong's voice wasn't hinting at an object. It was hinting at a betrayal. A betrayal so deeply rooted, so carefully masked, and so perfectly orchestrated that the last place anyone would look is exactly where the truth has been waiting this entire time. The witness ended his testimony the same way he began it, shaking, sweating, glancing over his shoulder like every shadow had eyes. He stood up, pulled his hood tighter over his face, and said, "I didn't tell you this to save him. I told you this to save everyone else." Then he walked away, disappearing into the darkness he came from, leaving behind a world now drowning in questions, a timeline shattered by revelation, a mystery more alive than ever, and a voice echoing through the silence. "Tell them I didn't stay silent. Tell them I tried." Those words are no longer just his final message. They are the spark that has reignited the entire case. The witness said the problem wasn't just the words themselves, it was the moment they were spoken. Because according to him, the hallway where Yu Menglong stood that night wasn't supposed to exist. Not officially. Not on the building blueprints. Not on any security layout. It was a maintenance corridor built decades earlier, sealed after renovations, and only accessible if someone knew the exact panel to push, the exact corner to twist, and the exact second the overhead sensors glitched. And somehow, Yu Menglong was already there, waiting. The witness described the atmosphere with a trembling precision, as if replaying a scene that still scraped at his mind. The air was unnaturally still, heavy like the room itself was listening. The floor was spotless, too spotless for a forgotten corridor. And the only working light flickered with a rhythm that felt intentional, almost coded, like a countdown or a warning. The witness said he wasn't meant to enter that hallway. He was searching for a restroom, pushed a wrongly aligned wall by accident, and the panel slid open with a mechanical sigh, revealing the narrow passage. At first, he thought it was nothing, just an old service path. But the moment he stepped in, he felt a pressure in the air, like walking into a place that remembered things it shouldn't. That's when he heard the voices. Not arguing, not panicked, just low, serious, controlled. He crept forward, each step echoing louder than his heartbeat, and saw them. Yu Menglong and the unidentified figure standing under the flickering light, facing each other like they were exchanging something more dangerous than words. The figure's back was turned, cloaked in a long, dark coat that brushed the floor. Their posture was stiff, rigid, as if carrying the weight of something unsaid. Yu Menglong stood opposite, shoulders squared, gaze steady, like someone who had already accepted a truth too heavy to ignore. But the witness said it wasn't their silence that unnerved him. It was Yu Menglong's eyes. He wasn't scared. He wasn't defeated. He wasn't confused. He was resolute, like a man delivering his final message to the only person who needed to hear it. And then he spoke those chilling words again, clearer this time as the witness replayed them. I left everything in the last place you wouldn't look. He didn't whisper it, he declared it. His voice was calm, steady, but laced with something deeper, an exhaustion mixed with purpose. A man standing at the edge of a decision he couldn't escape. The figure stiffened at the words, their shadows stretching across the tiled floor like an omen. Yu Menglong continued. If they find it before you do, tell them I didn't stay silent. The witness said these words felt like a key turning inside a locked door.
He didn't know what it was.
He didn't know who they were. But he felt the weight of a secret shaking the ground beneath him. The figure responded, quietly, sharply, but the witness couldn't hear the exact words. What he did hear was the tone.
Cold.
Controlled. Like a warning cloaked as a reassurance. Yu Menglong's jaw tensed, and he added the part that has now shattered the world. And whatever happens, it wasn't an accident. The witness said those words made the hallway feel smaller, tighter, as if even the walls flinched. Because no one, not investigators, not fans, not the media, had ever heard Yu Menglong imply anything like that. It contradicted every official report, every controlled statement, every sanitized version of the story. The figure stepped closer, invading his space, and for a moment the witness thought they might grab him. But instead, they reached into their coat and handed him something small, a metallic object, reflective enough to catch the flickering light. The witness saw a glint of silver, a symbol engraved on it. The same symbol found in Yu Menglong's phone weeks later. The figure whispered something else, barely audible, but enough to make Yu Menglong's expression crack for the briefest, smallest second. A crack so quick the witness wasn't sure if he imagined it. But he knew the emotion behind it.
Fear.
Not for himself. For what was coming. Yu Menglong closed his fist around the object and whispered back, make sure they see the truth before they bury it. Immediately after, the light flickered violently, like something in the building reacted to his voice. The witness said it felt almost supernatural, but he pushed that thought aside. What mattered was the rising tension in the air, thick enough to choke on. Then came the moment the witness will never forget. A sudden, heavy thud, like a body hitting metal or a door slamming shut far too hard. The walls trembled. The witness jumped. The figure jerked their head toward the sound. Yu Menglong didn't react. He only sighed a long, slow exhale that sounded like a man placing the last piece of a puzzle and preparing to walk away from the board forever. The figure moved first, stepping deeper into the corridor, disappearing behind a dark corner, as if following the noise. Yu Menglong waited a moment, just a moment, then turned sharply and slipped into another path branching off the hallway. When the witness finally dared to look again, both corridors were empty. The air was quieter than before. The light was no longer flickering. The atmosphere felt wrong, like the scene had erased itself. The witness backed out quietly, terrified he had seen too much. He kept that secret buried inside him for months. But he said Yu Menglong's final words haunted him every night, replaying like a broken record inside a locked room. He said he realized something terrifying. Yu Menglong wasn't warning the figure. He was warning the world. And if those final words were true, then the truth he left behind is still out there, hidden exactly where no one has thought to look. Maybe a place. Maybe a person. Maybe a memory. Maybe something far darker. The witness ended his continuation with a single sentence that left investigators breathless. You're all looking in the wrong direction, because he planned this better than anyone. And with that, the story fractures open again. The mystery grows deeper, and Yu Menglong's final words echo louder than ever. I didn't stay silent. I tried.